Hello and welcome back to my humble show. I'm your host for today and every other day, the Articulate Thinker, hopefully, here to bring you art articles and articulation straight from Articulation Station. So be sure to like, subscribe, and enjoy the ride. Don't forget to turn on those bell notifications while you're at it. Yeah, don't want to get too excited here. I don't have a lot of time, but I have a lot on my mind, so I'm going to share some of it. I'm on lunch break right now. Had to stop by the bank on the way home, so yeah. I actually meant to record the show last night. So much for that. Didn't work out the way I intended for it to. But I got to do what I got to do. So thanks for being here. Hope you stick around. Hope you like what you see. Hope you like what you hear. Feel free to disagree with me on anything I say. Let me know in the comments below what you think, what you know. And as always, I'm no know-it-all. I just know enough to know that I know at all. So that's what I'm going to share with you. I'm going to do some reading and reacting. I'm going to play you some clips. I'm going to speak on the debate, the great debate, GOP debate, which is happening later today. So whether you're seeing this beforehand or afterhand, well, I'd be happy to know what you think about all of it. What you think, what you know, yo. So, aside from that, I want to talk a little bit about Vivek Ramaswamy, if I have time. I want to talk a little bit about Donald Trump, if I have time. But I want to start by playing this clip on Twitter, or shall I say X. And the caption by Caleb Hull reads, "Gotta be one of the most awkward things I've ever seen." This is unrelated to politics. In fact, this is from a sports broadcast. I just so happened to see it yesterday when I was plotting and planning out my show, which didn't occur until now. Isn't occurring until now. Better late than never. But not to be too clever. Here you go. Let me move my face out of the way so you can see their faces and their hands. Watch the sleight of hand. That is key.
It's preseason, but we'd still like to win.
Yeah, I mean, you're no stranger. You're no stranger to professional sports teams. Managing general partner of the Devils, of the Sixers.
It's
what's going on?
We'd still like to win.
Yeah, I mean,
what's going on?
You're no stranger to professional sports teams.
He saw a handout and he took it. And the man over here is grinning, wondering what in the world is going on. And the man over here is acting as though nothing is going on. And the man here in the middle is making an awful lot of eye contact. In fact, I have no idea whether or not he is trolling or whether he just spaced out and decided to shake on it. Is that a handshake or a hand hold? You let me know in the comments below. Seriously, though, who cares? Let's talk politics. Enough about sports. This is a political show. So, here we go. Starting with some more random clips. If I can click on them. I have so many tabs pulled up in front of me, I can't seem to get to them. But let me get to them and go through them as many as I can, as fast as I possibly can. Quick, fast, in a hurry before I scurry off back to work. I haven't even watched this whole thing yet or listened to it, but we can do that together. MSNBC's Alex Wagner literally begged her audience not to watch the GOP debate on Fox News. This tweeted out by Nicholas Fandasaro. "It doesn't exist. It's like a tree falling in the forest. Alex Wagner," there's a typo there, "and Lawrence O'Donnell will be on the air at 9 o'clock and 10 o'clock tomorrow. So please, please join us, America." Apparently that is from a news segment from yesterday, but I'm playing it for you today.
It's all... And most people will just skip it.
Oh, take shelter. It's Brian Stelter. Where has he been all this time? Oh, yeah, not on CNN. Got fired, like Don Lemon. Life gave him lemons as well.
Well, I hope they don't.
Because they're exhausted.
Yes, but I hope
they're going to watch you.
They are. I hope. Yes, we will be on the air tomorrow at 9, and we will have special post-debate analysis on this network at 11, which I hope people tune into.
It's in my calendar already.
Well, please, I hope so, and I hope to hear your perspective on all of it in the coming days and weeks, my friend. It's great to see you, Brian Stelter.
Thanks.
Thank you, as always, for your wisdom. That is our show for this evening. Now it is time for the last word with Lawrence O'Donnell. Good evening, Lawrence.
Good evening, Alex. And I'm going to be one who skips it, like Brian just said, because I will be sitting right here at 10 o'clock,
yes.
Doing the last word,
yes.
Doing my duty in this hour of television.
Too.
And as far as I'm concerned, that's the only thing that's happening on TV tomorrow night. I don't know anything about that stuff you were just talking about.
Yeah, no, it doesn't exist.
Yeah.
It's like a tree falling in the forest.
Yeah,
Alex
exactly.
Wagner and Lawrence O'Donnell will be on the air
right.
at 9 o'clock and 10 o'clock tomorrow. So please join us, America.
No.
I will be watching Alex Wagner at 9, and I will be listening to myself at 10.
Oh, yes. I'm sure you're the only one who is going to be listening to you. I'm sure not going to be listening to you, Lawrence O'Donnell. But good riddance. More power to you. I don't really care about any of what they just said, but they don't really care about what the debaters are going to say. I think they do, honestly. That's why they made an announcement about it. I mean, they reference it, but overall, in the media, the opposition, their general stance is, don't watch the actual debate. Just listen to us talk about the debate. Yeah. So whether you're watching the debate or not, that's another thing I would be interested to know, because I, for one, will be. If I can. I will be getting off of work not too long before that, so I'll see if I can work it out. Either way, I'm going to find a way to watch it. But that's not the only thing that is going on. And no, I'm not talking about MSNBC here. I'm talking about Tucker Carlson. But, yeah, before I get to that, let me get to the next tab here, if I can once again click on it, because I have so many pulled up. Oh, yes, it is Tucker Carlson announcing his pre-programmed, what shall I call it? Publicity stunt with Donald Trump. I'll just play this.
On Sunday, Donald Trump announced that he will not participate in tonight's Republican candidates debate, hosted by Fox News in Milwaukee. Whatever you think of Trump, he is, as of tonight, the indisputable far and away frontrunner in the Republican race. We think voters have an interest in hearing what he thinks. So when Trump approached us about having a conversation for a far larger audience than he'd receive on cable news, we happily accepted. That interview will air tonight in this space at 8:55. We hope you'll watch.
All right. So, will you be watching the debate, or will you be watching Trump on Tucker? Or shall I say Tucker on X, as seen on the screen? Oh, what a mess. What a mess. But I will not protest too much. Yes, my daily caller here. So, moving on to another tweet, or shall I say post, by the Hodge twins. This is a poll from yesterday, which they put up, asking the question, what y'all gonna watch tomorrow night? AKA tonight. Republican debate or Tucker and Trump? 13.5% said Republican debate. 86.5% said Tucker and Trump. Now, this is on X, which is precisely where Tucker Carlson's show happens to be. So it's no surprise in that sense that Tucker has the leg up. Also, Hodge twins, they generally support Donald Trump a lot more than anyone who is participating in the debate, the actual debate. So, yeah, they're gonna have a little bit of an advantage there. But out of over 16,000 votes, somewhat telling poll, I'd say. I disagree with it. I said beneath it, yeah, most prefer watching Donald Trump attempt to indirectly compete with the debate without him having to directly compete with the debaters. Clearly the spirit that makes America great. But make America great again. Again. Right? Drain the swamp. Again. Or actually drain it at all, since it wasn't drained in the first place. In fact, I put up a compilation on my Articulate Thinker News Clips channel yesterday of Donald Trump celebrating various picks in his cabinet before turning around and condemning them all. Yeah, I'm talking about his Department of Justice, his military, generals, so on and so forth. People that he hired only to either ultimately fire or, in some cases, they simply resigned or the administration came to an end, and that was that. Now Donald Trump has changed up his tune a lot. He has flipped a lot of scripts. A lot. Call him wishy-washy, call him whatever you want to call him. I just think that he hasn't drained the swamp all that much. In fact, he made it swampier. But other Republican candidates cannot challenge him on any of those matters, since he will not be participating in the debate. Instead, he has decided to compete with the debate without actually having to compete with the debaters, which I find to be telling about him and the person that he is, the egotistical person he is. Yeah, very self-centered, obviously, and you may disagree. I get it. I'm someone who voted for Trump and want the best for him. I just don't see him doing his best. I don't. Maybe what's best for him, not what's best for the country. As I've said, Trump loves two things. He loves himself and he loves his country. Okay. So, that works fine as long as those two things are in alignment. But if what's best for Trump isn't what's best for the country, that's a problem. So, take it or leave it. Just a little word of wisdom. Hopefully. What else do I have for you? I was going to go to this article from the Daily Wire. Trump advisor spotted dining with legacy media reporters in Milwaukee ahead of Trumpless GOP debate. But I also had a headline pulled up from New York Times. I might have skipped right past it unintentionally. Actually, I can't even find it. The headline from the New York Times about the debate. I think I accidentally exited out of it. The gist of it was information about how you can watch the debate later on today. It will be exclusively on Fox News, I believe. I'm not sure if it will be on Fox Business or not. I think they're going to be really stingy about what people are allowed to do with the clips afterwards. So we'll see how many clips I'm able to upload onto my Articulate Thinker News Clips channel. This is just my podcast channel, so more information for you. Like, subscribe, and enjoy the ride of my other channels as well, if you'd like. But yes, here's this headline from the Daily Wire, and I'll go ahead and read into this just a bit. And maybe I could use this for a thumbnail. I paused for the picture there, just in case. Members of the Trump campaign were spotted dining with a handful of top legacy media reporters ahead of the first Republican presidential debate that Trump is skipping. Because, although he said he's going to skip it because it's not even a competition, he is simultaneously contradicting himself a bit by directly competing with it, just indirectly, from Tucker Carlson's pre-recorded podcast, his own podcast. So yes, they taped it ahead of time, but they're releasing it during the debate, if I'm not mistaken. Tucker Carlson clearly has a can to kick when it comes to Fox News. No surprise for him. But as for the President of the United States, potentially, former and potentially future, well, I would prefer someone who is not a troll-in-chief. I want a commander-in-chief. And I'm having a hard time believing that Donald Trump is commanding his own, brain at this point. Members of the Trump campaign were spotted dining with a handful of top legacy media reporters ahead of the first Republican presidential debate that Trump is skipping. Top reporters from outlets including CNN, the New York Times, speaking of them, the Washington Post, or shall I say Compost, and NBC. Oh, these acronyms are running together. Speaking of alphabet communities. Yeah. We're seen rubbing shoulders with Trump advisors Chris LaCivita, Jason Miller, and Stephen Chung at the Milwaukee steakhouse called Rare, according to a Politico Playbook report. Team Trump was also passing out items poking fun at Florida Governor Ron DeSantis, the former president's top rival within the GOP. And if you think that Ron DeSantis is the one who needs to make apologies or make amends at this point, then you are indeed a listless vessel, quote unquote. Trump's team reportedly handed out a pudding snack pack, or shall I say pudding snack packs, a jab at DeSantis based on a Daily Beast story, and bingo cards with squares that included phrases such as dismisses polls, wipes snot, and woke. What? Is this written by Occupy Democrats? They would come up with a similar criticism of DeSantis, if I'm not mistaken. Some members of DeSantis' team were also reportedly at the restaurant when the pudding and bingo cards were handed out. So this is what I'm talking about when I'm talking about a troller in chief. Trump is trolling, and his base may clap like seals with enthusiasm, but I don't think that's going to get us very far in the long run, or get him very far in the long run. But maybe he's just interested in running his mouth. There's that possibility. Come at me, bro. If you're a hardcore Trump supporter, well, I am not someone who is affected by Trump derangement syndrome, but I'm also not someone who is affected by Trump attachment syndrome. That's what I say, and that's why I say what I say. But yeah, the report triggered a response from conservatives who said they were surprised that members of Trump's team would wine and dine with the same media that continues to attack the former president. Maybe they want him to win because they believe that Joe Biden can beat him. A radio host, Steve Deese, who recently endorsed DeSantis, took to X to express his disgust with the team Trump's tactic. Trump campaign meeting with corporate media who hates us all, but they're conspiring together to destroy Ron DeSantis, Deese wrote. The same media that tried to impeach Trump and is trying to put him in prison now, nevertheless toasting his campaign. That's because of their love-hate relationship. He means ratings for them, doesn't he? I wonder what they would say about that poll, about whether people want to watch the debate or Trump on Tucker. I wonder what these reporters, left-wing reporters who are there partying it up with the Trump campaign, I wonder what they would say to that poll. Maybe they would prefer that people watch Trump on Tucker, since they are so tight with him, while simultaneously smearing him. Love-hate relationship, I'm telling you. As for the rest of Steve Deese's tweet, all the same people the Trump campaign is schmoozing now will, of course, go all in to defeat him in the general. And they believe that they can. So maybe they don't really love Trump after all. It's just that they believe that they can beat him again. Yeah. Deese said a source who was at the restaurant told him that not a single conservative media outlet was there. All corporate and left-wing media. And by the way, the references to pudding have to do with Trump's mannerism when he eats. Mocking the mannerisms of DeSantis is the Trump tactic, rather than attacking policy, since there isn't much to attack in terms of DeSantis' policy. So instead, let's just be childish and then pretend that we're offended when the term listless vessel is used loosely. Speaking of mannerisms, you know who has the wonkiest mannerisms of them all? Donald Trump. Literally. And not too long ago, leftists, left-wing media organizations were writing mocking pieces about the mannerisms of Donald Trump and how he sipped water, pursed his lips, this, that, and the other thing. And now after calling all of that nonsense out as it was fake news, or whatever you want to call it. The same Republicans, the same Trump-supporting Republicans, are taking the same approach to Ron DeSantis. So, they accused you of being a traitor and Russian asset. They stole an election from you. They impeached you. They're trying to imprison you now, Deese said. And your people are whining and dining with them? Are you freaking kidding me? What will it take to take this all seriously? Curtis Hook, managing editor of Newsbusters, also posted a stunning response to this report. Team DeSantis whining and dining with a number of reporters. Amazing. Coordinating with the liberal media, Hook said. And he was retweeting this screenshot taken by Stephen L. Miller of this article from Politico, which lists all of the reporters: Dana Bash, Shane Goldmacher, Christian Welker, Bob Costa, Finn Gomez, Dasha Burns, Rachel Scott, Rick Klein, Josh Dalsey, Rob Grilly, Mario Parker, and David Chalian, along with Chris Lasavita, Jason Miller, and I can't see the last name. It's cut off from the preview there. But yes, and here is this aforementioned quote from the article. I believe it was in the top of this article as well, so no need to read that again. I will proceed with caution. The Trump campaign has not responded to a Daily Wire request for comment on the report. Trump announced last week that he would skip the debate, opting for a sit-down interview with former Fox News host Tucker Carlson instead. The former president was criticized by many of his GOP opponents who believe Trump should attend the debate and explain how he can defeat President Joe Biden and the Democrats in 2024. But Trump has maintained that his sizable lead in the polls makes his participation in any debates unnecessary. And I know a lot of people will disagree with my overall take on Trump. And I'm not attempting to take on Trump or anything like that. After all, I voted for him and want the best for him. I'm just not seeing it. And he's not being it. So here's a screenshot from a chyron of Dana Bash. Trump's absence soaks up GOP debate spotlight. And yes, same woman was there partying it up with the Trump campaign. I'm sure they each received a packet of pudding. And no, aside from that, look at this. Ron 2024 DeSanctimonious Debate Night Bingo. And you see all of these little captions on here mocking DeSantis. Okay. So we're supposed to believe that DeSantis is disloyal. That's what all of this is about. This childish nonsense. Gaslight COVID record. Really? Says Captain COVID shot. Captain COVID vaccine. I feel like the standard is completely different for Donald Trump as opposed to Ron DeSantis, because even the stuff that certain Republicans don't even support, which Trump supports, they let him slide by on. I mean, he was giving Anthony Fauci a medal on his way out the door. And in fact, around that time, he actually talked about how he might fire Anthony Fauci if he won the election, the re-election. He said, in my second term, I might just fire him. Of course, he said that because he was trying to tickle the fancy of his own base. But what did he do instead? He presented him with a medal and kept him around. So Anthony Fauci outlasted Trump and the Trump administration. And now Trump is trying to turn around and act like DeSantis is the one who doesn't line up with the Republican base, who doesn't line up with conservative values, whether it be on COVID, think what you may of that, or any of these other issues. Red ears, wipe snot, woke. What, because Ron DeSantis uses the word woke? Bobbles head. Oh my goodness. Are we supposed to vote on these issues rather than on actual policy? Apparently this is Donald Trump's brain right now. That's how it's working. Here is this article from Politico. Playbook, your one-step guide to the first GOP debate. Here are the contestants, most of which are irrelevant. Of course, the ones at the top of the leaderboard, aside from Donald Trump, and very far below Donald Trump, are Ron DeSantis and Vivek Ramaswamy. After that, it's kind of a crapshoot. We do have Chris Christie. He doesn't have much of a shot. He might be a bit of a wrecking ball, though. He's the most anti-Trumper amongst the bunch. Also, you have Mike Pence, who, surprisingly, as former vice president, doesn't have much of a shot either, because Donald Trump turned almost the entire Republican Party against him. And we wonder why Ron DeSantis has had such a hard time in the polls. Take him or leave him. Well, once Donald Trump turns on you, because he has so many attached supporters, and well, whoever you are, you're going to lose a lot of support. Just like Mike Pence. We've seen it before, and we're seeing it again with Ron DeSantis. But maybe Ron DeSantis will shine in the spotlight this time. I'm kind of waiting for it. Waiting for him to step up to the big plate. He should know all about that. He used to play baseball. Maybe Vivek Ramaswamy will steal the spotlight from him, though. He's coming in hot. Speaking of coming in hot, he's been on so many different shows lately. He was on CNN the other day. He said something that was, well, contradicting. Speaking of self-contradictions, I wanted to speak on that, but I don't have time, so I'm going to have to wrap this show up in a moment. But yes, this is the aforementioned Politico article spotted in Milwaukee. Team Trump whining and dining with a number of top reporters at a steakhouse called Rare. Passing out pudding snack packs, a swipe at Ron DeSantis, pudding finger story, as well as debate bingo cards to troll the Florida governor. Already showed you the pictures from the event. This is all speculation down here about what might happen during the debate. What they might do, what they might need to do. I don't have time to speak on the speculation, though I've been speculating a bit myself. Just too much for me to chew on right now. I'll play this, and this will give you a preview of what I might talk about in my next show, my next podcast, which I hoped to integrate into this podcast, but I just don't have time. Ain't nobody got time for that. This tweeted out, or shall I say posted by AG Hamilton 29 yesterday. Vivek GPT malfunctions on whether Trump should debate. From fundamentally uncourageous and embarrassing to understandable, and I have no problem with it. So, my general stance on Vivek Ramaswamy has been that I like him more than I trust him. As time goes by, I'm trusting him less and less, and how can I like him if I don't trust him? I mean, he is so likable. He just is. But he has lied on some things. He has. And maybe he's just changed his mind on some things. Well, he's changed on a lot of stuff. He's changed his mind on a lot of stuff. Some people don't want to say it, but I will. I'll defend any of the candidates if I see that they are being attacked unfairly. But also, I'm gonna call them out if they are inconsistent. Here is just a little taste of the inconsistency of Vivek Ramaswamy.
What does it say about Donald Trump if he does not show up?
You know what? I'm not focused on who shows up or not.
It would be fundamentally uncourageous for Donald Trump to refuse to debate.
Do you think Trump should attend this first RNC debate?
I don't have a strong opinion on it.
Trump will be there because, as I've known him, he's not a man that I know of to be afraid.
I don't think it much matters in the early debates whether he shows up.
I don't think he's going to duck away from debate. I think that would be embarrassing, frankly.
I don't think it much matters.
If he doesn't show up on that debate stage, I think that'll be the best proof that the Donald Trump of today is not the same Donald Trump. He's not somebody who has made a habit of himself to be a coward.
I think it would be fundamentally uncourageous for Donald Trump to refuse to debate, and I'm not going to let him get away with that very easily.
I really have no problem with it if he doesn't show up. I think that.
So, from I'm not going to let him get away with it to I don't have much of a problem with it. Now, which is it? Which is it? And there's more of that, more to underscore. So many other issues, which I don't have time to speak on. I gotta go back to work. I'm late for a very important date. I gotta put my cat down. He's in my lap, taking a nap. Oh, let's see. Me, oh me, oh me, oh my, oh me. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Keep in touch. Keep in tune. New content is coming soon. Peace.